episode 17. To be named during this episode, what it will actually be called. Great. We have a little bit of recap to go through. No announcements, no new news, except for as usual. Check out the Patreon. We're trying to do some new stuff. Oh gosh, no, there is an announcement. In the upcoming dungeon behind this magical door, we have 2 fan Patreon inspired magical items from a poll that we did. So if you're interested in participating in creating some of the content alongside me, there has been some great engagement in that, and so I will be sure to name which ones those are while we are playing. And also a Patreon inspired and created NPC will soon make their way into the story too. So thank you for those of you who've been interacting and being a part of that. One sidebar for the table and myself. Today has been a really long day, so give me just a little bit of grace for any, fogginess that I might have. But just let that know. That's part of what's going on today in the world of being a DM. To recap last session, we were, we had a stop at the Elisa Regional by Misery, and I think Cicero was in that too. And y'all just kind of like spilled a lot of beans to Savarin. We just had a very candid conversation. We had the visit with Farragrand. That's where it did start off too. And some information was gathered about a woman named Remy that Pilgrim was getting some information on, as well as a spell was given to Tuli. There was just some general consensus prodding, trying to understand the stone a little bit better. It attempted to take over Farragrand. And he fought it. He kind of cursed at it and yelled at the stone, and they had a little bit of a kerfuffle while you all kind of met in the back room privately and kind of discerned and tried to figure out what you were going to do with Farragrand and the stone, ultimately deciding to leave it with him as he portaled it away into some pocket dimension. And then you all headed back to your rooms in the Elisa Regional. Before deciding to head out to this magical door that Rickledar, I gave you all some information and a map to get to. So, with that, you all wake up early in the morning because you all decided you wanted to get on your way as early as you could to get as much out of this day as you can. So, in your respective rooms or in your group as you wake up for this morning, of course, food is provided as part of the breakfast, as the government is paying for your days here, which you have one more night in. Tonight is another night there. So how do you begin your day? Any conversations, preparations before you head out into the wilderness?
As usual, my day is spent kneeling by the window doing my meditative chants and things, just kind of waiting until I hear the movement of everyone kind of getting ready with their day. So whenever that starts, then I would get up and join the party.
Hold any response to that. Go for it. And what else is happening?
Amazing. We're together.
We are together.
As always.
Always.
Aww.
We love rooms. Hey.
You have to, you wake up first.
Good morning. Hey. Another day.
I am excited for today.
You're excited for today? Why are you excited for
It's
today?
really early.
Why are you excited for today? I'm excited for today.
We're gonna go do some cool stuff.
Yes.
We're gonna see this door.
Yes.
But there might be
Yeah.
people,
Uh-huh.
creatures,
Uh-huh.
and we might get to fight them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna kick them in the butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm excited now.
Me
I'm awake.
too. Yes. Okay.
Jeez. Not as quick as you.
Jeez.
Let's go get the crew, the squad.
You wanna wake them up already?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the hallway and start knocking on doors.
Oh gosh.
I feel your heart.
Well, that's sounded terrible.
Fantasy Kesha.
You're welcome.
You looked right.
So very vulgar knocks.
It's not a horse, it's Cicero.
Like the path. Gets up and opens the door.
Pilgrim.
Good morning, Cicero.
Good
Did
morning.
you have a good rest?
I had a great rest.
I can tell.
Yes.
Yo, Pilgrim.
Hey, my boy.
Hey.
The boys are back in town.
Yes, we're gonna finish something today.
We're going to, well, we'll see about that.
It's gonna be done.
We will certainly start another thing.
It wouldn't call us the half done Zint if we didn't.
I guess you're
This
right.
is true.
We're not finishing anything. We are starting something.
We're
new.
starting something. Let's hope we are not faced with a contract by this near magic door. Or we will be there all day.
Let's wake everybody else up.
I was awake, standing
I thought
by
they were together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're already awake. Tully doesn't sleep, right?
She like meditates/sleeps.
I definitely don't acknowledge Lilith anyways.
Cool. Tuli is there a window in our room?
Mm-hmm.
Tuli is has the window open, and she's like hooked her feet under something, and is doing those kind of like Shaolin sit-ups out the window.
Dang.
Whenever Gwen wakes up, and like talking in between. Gwen, good morning. You're awake. I'm so glad.
But
How are you?
that's a mighty fine core workout going on there.
Just a
I don't even have to make a skill check for this.
I was like,
This is right under the line that you would need to roll.
Whatever. He just Thank you so much. And then I'll roll. I don't care. She flips.
She says
I'll roll.
I'm not scared.
Let's do a hypothetical
Jeffrey.
Make an acrobatics check.
We're starting strong.
Does your window
Never get into the gate.
go just look at like another rooftop? You better hope so. Or is it a really nice
How high
view?
up are we?
Third floor.
It's like 20 feet.
Oh, 20 feet, 20
Okay, I'm flipping
That'll do.
into the room. So I'm just like doing a sit up, and then
Yeah.
all the accidents should happen in the room.
Up to 17, again goes to the emergency room.
I'm not going to DM for you. You tell me what happens.
fantasy emergency.
Okay, acrobatics check.
Yeah. You get 13.
10.
So you don't stick the landing. It's fine. You get into the room. And you just kind of
Like you
stumble.
look stupid.
You stumble forward, your core tenses up because it was a very intense workout, and so you just feel like, oh, okay, that was not as loose as it needed to be to do what you did.
Nice.
Gwen pretends she didn't sleep.
Gwen! Tully!
So
Gwen!
then runs over to the door and
Tully!
yanks it open.
Tully!
Cicero.
Gwen!
Cicero.
Hey! The boys!
Mystery's like 10 feet behind and just like, okay, what's up, dude?
The boys!
Hey
Tully
guys.
runs back and grabs her bags. And says, Gwen, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Bring the bees! We're going on an adventure.
From a door in the hallway. Keep her down out there!
I'm gonna run over and knock on that door. I'm just kidding.
Shut up, old man!
Great. So, synced up, everyone's awake, heading out. You have your breakfast, leave the Elisa Regional, and start to head northward outside of the town across the bridge to get away. Yeah, what is your intention? How are you all preparing? How are you finding where you're heading?
We have a map.
We do have a map.
That is one answer.
Who has the map?
Has the map.
Does
Who was doing that? Did we give it to Gwen? That seems like a thing we would
Who
have.
probably with us.
I think Gwen was the last person to have it because she looked at it to figure out where the troll had run.
Sounds like something we'd do.
Gwen, you have a map?
Sure.
The actual map is down at the end of
I was
the
gonna say, we have a map.
I got the map! Okay.
Just put it on the thing.
Perfect.
It's that way.
Cool.
Nobody added a compass.
Do we have it?
I mean, I think it's safe to say following the map, we walk to where they think it probably is. We walk towards that clump of trees with the big circle around.
And we pass your thing?
Sure do. Check out my cabin while we're on the way.
Check on the one day progress.
Dude, I did the last 24 hours.
Be done.
No one did anything.
At least have the supplies delivered.
Weren't you just there yesterday and nothing had happened
That
yet?
happened, yeah.
So yes, you all, with a map out and heading in the general direction, start to walk by the Isero family,
That's my cabin.
still in rubble with a standing wall. Continue to proceed. As you now start to break through the woods and get past where like the natural daylight is getting through, you start to look around and Sally seeing critters and stuff running around towards the outer edge. But as you proceed through and start to get deeper into it, more of the sunlight gets choked out. It starts to get more of like a light green color through the leaves, blocking out a lot of the sun. And you start to push through where even sorting out direction gets a little bit difficult because everything is trees in all ways. So who would be leading the map, reading and guiding the direction? And then also what else would people be doing to kind of assist this travel?
I have a question. Are there still little critters in the ground as we get in deeper?
At this point, it's like thinning out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm probably hanging back towards the back of the group with my not in my hand, but like at the ready to pull my bow out if needed. Just kind of walking.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my drum, my magically attuned drum that plays a sound that sounds like a drum, snare drum. Like that.
Okay.
And then I pull out my list.
It's my marching drum. Okay. And I'm just gonna have it floating behind me while I walk.
Yep.
What type of skills are beneficial for map reading? Would that be survival? Or, okay.
Or nature.
I can hopefully survival. Let's see.
Yeah.
I can read the map and lead if nobody else wants to. I have +2 survival.
Read the map.
I would help you convince Loreleth if you want to do that.
Oh, for Laura to lead as well?
Yeah. We'd have to make her not be scared.
I have +3 survival, so I can imagine Gwen and Pilgrim taking the lead, walking along, looking at the map.
That's fine.
That sounds great.
I know I will not. I'm not a wilderness boy. I'm here to jam with my Cicero.
I have
Did you not crosstalk over with it?
Do you want us to continue?
hopefully for the whole time. I have a pretty good perception investigation stuff, so I guess I would say like on whatever it is, like on high alert the whole time while we're walking. Like I'm looking for signs and I'm trying to see if there's anything.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
I find it.
So wait, a map or looking over?
Gwen's got the map. I'm with her, and I'll just say checking the map, kind of looking around.
Eyes down.
And are you also kind of danger surveillance? Is that what you're kind of going for?
Yeah, I'm in the back. I'm not scared. I'm keeping everyone safe.
No one thought.
I'm not scared.
I was incited by Sally, just about.
Yeah, I don't know that, but you look scared.
Angela?
Louis is not paying the slightest bit of attention.
Are you dancing?
She's
You like the music?
she has her quarterstaff out and she's kind of swinging it around and stretching and she's whistling.
We're a whole marching band.
Yeah.
Pilgrim, I say quietly, under the drum noise. Do you feel that this ruckus is a good idea or a bad idea?
You want us to do quarter time instead of half
No,
time?
I said under the drum.
Because we're doing half
Good
time.
idea.
Do you need quarter time?
Well, if I remember our exchange yesterday, it did seem that some members of our party were eager to re-engage the troll. I would argue that it is a certainty.
What? Marching music.
What would do I need to roll an insight check to figure out the terrain of which we are in?
Figure out the Earth's emotion.
Can you tell me?
No, you were in the forest.
Okay. There's no,
There's lots of
it's not rocky or hilly.
Oh, for those specifics,
She gets you the
your
forest
perception check that you'll be doing as part of what you just described. I'll elaborate for you. So we'll start with your survival check, and then if y'all could decide either you each can make a perception check or one of you can do it with advantage, since you're helping each other out.
You can do it with advantage.
I'll do perception with advantage.
You have good perception, right?
That was between Sally and Steven.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You were rolling. That was your survival check.
Except what you just rolled, which was bad.
It was. You just.
I'm supposed to roll or not? I just
Yes.
rolled a 4 and it wasn't good.
Okay, that
I
was the
have
math.
a +3 on perception.
Yeah, I have a +5. So
Okay.
it's like whatever.
But I also know a lot about the woods,
It's true.
so I'll have specific insight into it that you may not have.
The woods are just trees.
So you can each roll
The
one
trees
then.
are just.
So that you can kind of each use your own.
Do we each have advantage? Is that
Each of you roll once.
Yeah.
great? Well, that's a 5. +5 is 10.
Okay.
Cool dice.
It's a very neutral perception of the surrounding area.
This is a forest.
Ah, trees. I remember them well.
Nice.
19 plus 3 plus 22.
Five.
Okay.
No, I'm in the back to protect everybody.
Caves don't have a lot of trees. That's why I don't know.
So, Gwendolyn, at the front of the troop with the map, you can see at some point, because it does not have a compass rose, she's turning.
Oh no!
Yes.
And she stops for a moment to just kind of reorient herself. And in that moment where the group stops under her direction, and as you both are looking around, Pilgrim, you start to feel where Gwendolyn's confusion might be coming through as you're looking around too. And it's like, okay, yeah, this deep in the woods feels out of nature to you, and things start to feel like repetitive, and just find details of what would make a right path through the woods just feels foggy to you. But
Fog's not clear.
Light the path.
white of the path.
So you know what I'm muttering.
Clear the way.
Clear the fog, light the path. Clear the fog, light the path.
As your eyes locked in, and you have noticed quickly that all creatures of like small woodland whatnot, you haven't seen any in a while. And then as you all have proceeded for a bit and you were just keeping your eye out for danger and things like that, you now start to notice that lots of vines are twisting up a lot of the trees and extending between across the canopy as well. And you feel like just the trees themselves just look a lot thicker because of the greenery that has now grown across all of them.
Devil's snare.
Okay.
Devil snakes a lot.
I noticed that and kind of quickly move my way up to the front and say, these vines are really dangerous. Sorry, I'm trying to do it in character and that was not in character.
snakes.
I think the vines are alive.
That's no tree, it's a space station.
Where are you?
I gotta follow his footsteps.
So, these vines, I'm not sure who is aware of this, but these vines are a sign that typically goblins could be around because of the traps that they can lay. So
Who are
if
you
you
saying
guys,
this to? All of us?
everyone,
I'll kill me some goblins.
allowed. So if you guys don't mind, I will. I would like to walk in the front. I'm also happy to lead us if you'd like, because I'm pretty familiar with these types of woods. Second question: has it rained recently?
No.
Great.
Well, it did last night. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
it did?
it was raining all through last night. Yeah.
That's why they couldn't work on the cabin, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Gotta be right.
So, I'll walk in the front to make sure that we don't, to test anything that looks like a trap of any sort. I would also recommend someone walking closer to the back to keep an eye on the back of our party to make sure nothing comes up from behind us if there's anyone that would like to.
I'd like to nature check to see if she's telling the truth.
Oh my gosh.
What?
And while he's doing that whole thing, I'm gonna say Pilgrim just like, the moment she said goblin, kind of like perked up, kind of looking around, and I kind of drift to the back as she's saying, "Oh, somebody needs to be at the back."
Not because I think she's lying, I just want to double check it.
So you're looking at the nature to confirm what she's saying, not looking at her like.
Yeah, looking at the vines. Yeah, like, is that true?
Yeah.
Are they vines?
18.
Okay. Yes.
This will be very uneventful.
No, and as you were talking through this, you and Sister's Eyes both can look over, and where a vine is twisted up around a tree, you can see that a rope has been like hidden behind it, and then a log has been attached at like somewhere you weren't about to walk under it or anything, but off to the side that you can see, like in this one area, there was a swinging log trap that could very easily have triggered slam into whoever is leading that charge.
Can confirm.
Thanks, Cicero.
Do you want to stop the drum?
Who's in the back?
Yeah, that would be great. If we can stop the loud noises.
Yes.
We were on the verge of something super sick.
Oh, good.
I believe
we were
you,
changing pace.
And
we were
I'm
marching
sure that you guys are talented
It
enough
was
to
gonna
pick
be
it
a-
back up later
in the cave.
and continue
Right.
just as great.
Yeah, let's do it again. Record a voice memo on our
On your what?
clay,
A what?
clay pottery,
Do a what on your who?
on our rope. I don't know.
I would
Forget it.
also
Forget
suggest
this one
that
forever.
let's all stay on high alert, as if there are goblins in these trees. They certainly know we are here at this time.
Yep.
So,
I have an idea.
For what?
Does it involve musical instruments?
Kind of.
All right.
I have this book,
Uh-huh.
and do you want to open it real quick?
No.
Dennis.
Pilgrim opens the book.
Yep. That's all it says out of the book. It just says yep.
The book is saying,
What if you controlled this with your mind, and you like made it like a few rows over, and that way they thought like we were over there, like a few rows over.
Here's my only fear, Cicero. I am a goblin. I am in the trees where I live. A marching band comes to town. I am now from the trees watching the marching band. One of the members of the marching band floats a book away into the forest. Do I follow the book?
Oh, you think they see us? Okay, yeah, that's a bad idea. You go ahead and give me the book back.
I hand him the book.
and then the book stops a couple seconds after we close.
I know this book though. It's kind of cool, right?
It's a very interesting book.
Thanks. Take this.
Everything I own says yeah.
Magical items that make noise.
I'm in hell.
Thank you. That's all I want.
Can I? Oh, you talk. You're ready to talk. You say words.
We're good. We're gonna set up like a marching order, preferably without the band, I guess, and how people are now kind of adjusting to some new information, the direction that we're gonna try to reset all of that. So, how are we responding?
I'm in the back.
Okay.
I'm in the front. I have my bow out now and ready.
Okay.
Did y'all tell us about the log trap that you saw?
There's a log trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we didn't,
God.
now we did.
I saw it. I would have said something.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you would have been me too.
A log trap.
Are y'all sticking to like looking out for danger and just kind of leading the?
He's in the back, but
Right.
I guess I kind of would have joined the front.
Okay.
join me.
Nice. With my crossbow.
I was like trying to get to the front and then like realized that Lilith was better at it. So I guess I was second. I'm still in front of you though.
Would I have noticed that Pilgrim was a little
So good at you.
iffy and drifted away? I guess I would probably notice, right? Because we were leading together.
Yeah.
Do you seem nervous?
No, I think it was more just like I was hearing her instruction of like someone needs to be at the back to be
Okay.
watching, and so I just kind of like naturally
Yeah.
cycled to the back. Like I have like my hand on my like dagger hilt, and now it's
Yeah.
more like we're not just strolling. I'm like,
I think also knowing that Pilgrim's not super beefy, just a little beefy.
I'm negative beefy.
I'll probably go to the back with my longsword out or move
Okay.
more towards the back since multiple people are up front now.
Okay.
Got a beefy caboose.
You're vegetable-y.
And Tuli.
Tui is staying in the middle, but she's now not with me.
She's like, oh, they're still going strong.
She's
Strictly
walking on the
cartwheeling
balls of
through the
her feet and
forest.
kind of like looking around
Nothing
very
else.
carefully. She's very hyper aware of any signs of magic because that's kind of her area.
Yeah.
So she's looking for magical traps.
Okay.
And all the mockingjays in the trees are copying your whistles now.
So perception checks from all three of you.
Great.
I think you were also doing one, right? You were kind of looking out around, or were you just kind of seeing?
No.
Okay.
I'm mostly stepping on leaves and
Okay.
Stepping on leprechauns.
And then you can do another survival check.
20.
I got a nat 20.
Well, I got an 11, so that's a little better
12.
than the other one.
National 20.
No, wait, that was a 14.
21.
Get out. Okay. So what were you attempting to do as well?
I don't know. I'm kind of half in the front, so I didn't know if I needed to roll.
Okay. As these people have kind of taken lead and everything, we have natural 20 and all that.
I'm chilling.
I think we're in a good set place. So you catch a glimpse of part of the lake as you all crest a hill and look over, and like there's just a moment between the trees that you slip through and kind of reorient where the map needs to be, and you redirect the direction of the party. Lorelith, you
I do like a hunter hand motion
yes.
Whoa.
from the back that only Bernard sees.
And
The party
then
can split.
Lorelith, you actually hear goblin sounds coming off from up ahead. But they seem very distant. And you can hear just like little bits of like grumbling and leaves moving, and then you can see that like, and then the shadow of one like slips and jumps over from one tree to the next.
Glowworm.
They really are in the trees?
Yeah.
I tell everyone that, but very quietly. I don't know how to do that. I very quietly am like, and kind of point.
What?
Yeah, you can do this.
Point up. No, we're done with the drum now.
Oh, put the drum away.
And well, we just did a perception check. I guess I would see if there was another trap in front of us, right?
You didn't see one with
Okay,
what
great.
you rolled and everything too.
Great.
But you've been able to like stop the group at a very safe distance. You've picked up on that these goblins are there,
Great.
and so as you kind of silence everyone and huddle and wait, you all are like, "What is she talking about? Where is this?" And then when you sit quietly for a moment, then everyone can trace a couple off, maybe 40 or 50 feet away. There's a couple more goblins are hopping through. I'd like everyone to make a stealth check.
Ooh.
Beans.
Oh, hopefully our
Where's the full DM still letting us do this after a musical?
I'll say this too before any rolls.
4-year-old.
I will give, because you rolled a natural 20 on the perception check, 2 people can make the roll with advantage. You all can decide who gets the advantage.
I have negative on my stealth. I would love to have
Good old road.
Do I only get advantage since it rained on like survival and perception checks? Okay, so not this.
Specifically for tracking things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any stealthy people? I mean, I'm +3.
I'm +1.
Sounds
We should
easy.
get
a
it.
-1.
Okay, I'll
Steve
do
should
it.
get one.
I'm +2.
Wow.
Great.
Okay.
Who else is taking the other one?
I'm +1. What are you? You're
+2.
I'm +1, so I guess I should take it, right? Does someone else have?
I also have luck, so I can use the luck if I need to.
Does anyone else have less than +1?
Oh, I have +0.
Oh, then you should take it.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, you make
So everyone make a stealth check and then you
sense.
both
Don't
do it.
numbers.
You got some good rolls today.
I know. Okay. My first one was a 19, and that was one was a 4.
Wait. Oh.
Just them with advantage.
All right, that's a nat 20. Great.
Gwendolyn. 17?
18.
18.
17.
17.
19.
19. Natural 20.
Nat 20. My first roll was a 2.
We're not marking that. We're 20 very
19. Right.
Nat
Misery
20.
trips, but I catch him.
Great, yeah. So as you all hunker down into a little bit of a ravine behind the side of the hill, and you see 5, 6, 7, 8 goblins all run through, chittering and laughing, and then you can hear the squeals of some animal getting caught in a trap, and then all of their yelling kind of crescendos out very loud, and then you can hear them run off and chase in that distance. And after a couple minutes pass, holding your breath and waiting, you feel the confirmation of like, okay, they've gone off in a separate direction. You've avoided the dangers of these goblins.
Great. Can I do a nature check real quick to see if there's anything around us that could help camouflage us so we continue through this forest?
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh. Yeah.
I would like to do that.
Just for
Okay, Peter.
I mean, I rolled a nat 20, so I am the first.
Plants are people.
Oh, cool. I have +4.
I
So.
am Africa.
6 + 4 is 10.
Yeah, you're able, like, mud puddles are in a couple different spots.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's a puddle.
And if you wanted to roll around in some mud, you would be all game.
You can put the,
Well, now that we know we have the lake in our sights, I mean, this area is right by the lake, so
We want to throw the stone in while we're here?
don't we walk
we don't have the
along
stone.
the lake?
Fairground has the stone.
What happened to the stone?
We gave it to Fairground. He put it in the
We
abyss.
didn't know this.
The pockets.
You didn't tell me what happened to the stone.
It was here. Are you
Tell.
sister right now?
Yes.
Sorry. I can't
You
tell.
want the stone? Are you finished something?
Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm not talking to him.
up so we know who you are.
Yes, Cicero, we gave the stone to Fairground.
Why?
We made a group consensus.
We did not.
Well, my friend, you simply must be willing to join people when they do that. You can be a part of these discussions.
We
Yeah, I was
specifically
gonna say.
invited you to come and you didn't want to come.
Cicero, don't worry, we weren't there either.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And I'm also just as mad as you.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Yes. We played some.
We did specifically invite you and you said you didn't.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Here's the situation. We were entering into a new unknown magical zone near the dangerous lake with the Chuloth who want this stone. And we had met a seemingly very capable, reasonable individual with enough magical prowess to guard himself against the stone. It seemed the cost-benefit analysis. I don't know these terms. Economics. Who knows where we're at? Anyway.
Return on investment.
It seemed better to leave the stone in his capable hands than right beside the lake where the creatures are seeking it, and a potential magical door where we could lose it inside. Who knows?
I think goblins are probably the priority
Yeah,
conversation.
that checks out. Let's move on.
Meanwhile, Tuli has gone over to the mud puddle. Sorry, have you told us about it?
No, not yet. I kind of like walk over to the mud puddle and very quietly say, "It seems as though the goblins have gone, but I recommend us doing as much as we can to continue to camouflage ourselves as we continue through the forest." And I walk over to the mud puddle and I
Terminator.
put some on me.
No, Predator.
And would I also like have the foresight to grab like leaves or something? Like,
yeah.
certainly, I would.
Absolutely, yeah.
I wouldn't need a nature check to know to put leaves
right.
on me. Great, and then I do that too.
I guess I mimic her.
You got hit, but
I cover my body in mud.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm disgusted by this.
If any of you think that
Can I
maybe
check for a better way to disguise ourselves besides mud?
Sure.
I would like to say
Nature check.
I just turned invisible.
I'm intentionally wearing
18.
I was hoping you would do that.
inconspicuous clothing, and so I'm gonna put my hood on. It's already kind of dirty colored, so I'm
Yeah.
How are you gonna cover your pheromones?
I missed it. His what?
Pheromones. Yes, goblins are notorious for noticing
The
pheromones.
goblins won't find me. They need.
I mean, I don't.
Somewhere on the distance, Martha is like, yeah!
Can I do a history check to find out if goblins have good smell?
In the war of 20 to the goblins find my smell.
Or nature, or whatever it is.
Yeah, sure. You gotta do a nature check. Cicero, you find larger leaves than what
Nice.
Spoilers was able to find.
one is
Have you thought about these?
I got a 9.
Great. Goblins, Hunkle. You immediately think of your family servant
Yeah.
Hunkle.
advantage.
You know that he smells sometimes, and that is about as far as your mind lets you go.
So logically, they don't
there yet?
have a sense of smell.
With the cave.
No, we are not.
We're here.
Quickly, I noticed the larger leaves that Cicero found and grabbed my dagger and kind of cut off a few pieces of the vine and tie some stuff together and make myself look a little
Yeah.
hood.
Julie, you were doing something with mud, right?
Yeah, what are you doing with mud?
Tuli, when Laura goes over, goes, ew, and runs over and like scoops up some, and it's like, her skin is gray, there's no need for this, it's the same shade as the mud almost, but she's like delicately putting it on like the teeth. It's like really good for your pores. And then she does take the mud, and because her hair is really bright, she does kind of like comb.
Right.
Smart.
Gwen already wears all brown and has a lot of hair and is just furry, so she'll just like shrug and like dip her sword in the mud so it's not as shiny. Just to kind of ease in
Is
the
your
middle.
hair actively on fire?
What? Excellent question. As I'm rubbing mud into it, and then she doesn't say anything else. Just kidding. And she says, no, actually, it is hair fiber, but it's fire-like. You know, it's just a characteristic of my race.
Great.
It glows based on emotion, essentially.
Great. I grab some more leaves and some more vine and make her a hat and give it to her.
Tuli takes the hat. My eyes are huge. And she says, thank you. And she puts on the hat.
Good.
Great. Continuing on, continuing on with what will be 3 W's in a row. The last skill check of getting to this place. It has been about 3 to 4 hours of walking through. So we're going to finish this last leg out. And hopefully find this location. But it is now a vague kind of circle within the circle of what you all have left to kind of explore in the right direction. So Gwendolyn, if you're continuing with like map usage in specific location, anyone else, what are we doing as we are navigating this last bit?
Do we know where we are on the map?
Not specifically, but in general, you would be kind of like maybe a quarter of the way into the big yellow circle.
Cool. Oh, cool.
I kind of, again, I'm still kind of leading the charge. I have my bow and arrow like at the ready. If needed, and every so often I'll like kick a twig or a rock or something ahead to test if there are any traps, and just kind of keep doing that.
Okay.
And leading the. Do I need to do a check for this? Can I use my sense of hearing to know that we are continuing around the lake?
Sure, yeah.
And like to kind of point us in the semi-right direction. That it's like we're not going towards the lake, but we're parallel to it.
Yeah, okay, so that'll be a survival check with Gwendolyn, and y'all are both working together to navigate this final bit. Keep your eyes
Both
open.
rolling.
However you'd like to handle that as well. You both roll 1, somebody can with advantage.
Maybe.
What do you want to do?
It doesn't matter to me. I have. Well, I do. This is a survival check.
Yes.
I already have advantage on survival because of terrain. So,
Does it make sense to just both do
you
it?
both can roll with advantage.
Oh, that's fun.
Nevis, you rolling?
We're so good at survival.
Never rolling?
I'm a survivor.
He doesn't want to.
Oh gosh.
He rolled it. What is it?
Drop.
It doesn't look good.
A 2?
Yours is a 2.
Oh, but it's with advantage, right?
Yeah, so you can roll again.
He's very heavy.
Bye, buddy. The corner.
Hope you find good.
3.
Do you want
So much better.
I got 17.
a 4 and a 5? Nevis is bad at dice.
Gwendolyn, the stress of trying to make sure that you were getting in the right direction just continued to build and build, and you were like, oh, like I'm the only one who's been working on this, kind of moving this
My
forward.
vertigo really got to me that day.
And so
Get your bees.
you just I felt like, all right, I think I'm doing the right thing, but like I'm just not really sure, and I don't know exactly where this place is. And then Laura steps in to guide and looks at the map as well, and you see her just kind of like take a final lead of this, and then eventually you notice a cut into kind of like a cliffside rock that is within a hill that then turns into dirt and trees and all of that, but like pure stone within this one semi-section that then shadows out into complete darkness. Feeling like that is worth checking out. And the group now sees this about 40 feet away.
You would say this is a rocky terrain?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Hey, what's up?
What do you see?
I think our destination is just briefly ahead, but I would recommend continuing to be quiet and not get too excited, because as we're approaching the rocky terrain, not only do the goblins typically inhabit in these areas, but there could be larger predators at play as well, like lions or tigers.
Or bears.
Oh my.
What I should have done earlier that I didn't do is I speak Goblin. And so I'm gonna turn myself into a goblin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just for the rest of the
Don't do that.
No, just for, I'm not gonna talk, say anything. Just like, don't worry.
It's our goblin friend.
I'm good.
How are we gonna know if you're a goblin or
Trust me, they're gonna.
I'm gonna kill you like accidentally.
They're gonna think
Voice down.
They're gonna think I am a goblin. So they're gonna think like the goblins already got this one. They're not gonna go after.
They think that one goblin's gonna get all?
Yeah, I'm a big goblin.
Okay.
He's a little goblin. He's very small. He's looking up at you like you're a big goblin.
Really big.
He's just a little goblin.
That's all. I just want to be a goblin for a while.
I'm hearing
Does
Harper big.
And she goes,
Does it make sense for now that we have a goblin with us to make him go in first?
I'll go in first.
Yeah, going first.
Alright. What are we doing? Like, just all walk in, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
Softly.
Did we find the door?
Ooh, you know what I wanted?
It's dark.
There's just a.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
it's
a
a cave.
Seemingly, yeah.
Oh, I have a lantern and a ring that casts light.
Okay.
If Loreleth is to be understood, there may potentially be more goblins in
the
this cave.
I figured
Correct.
the whole fake prisoner thing. Like, I'll pretend that I'm like, I'm going out captive and I'm walking with you, and then we'll get blobs.
What if?
We don't know what's in there.
Right, but there could be goblins in there.
Yeah.
Should we like lure them out here?
Now, this is an interesting. I'm
What if I'm a
intrigued.
young goblin?
I'm genuinely intrigued with the fake prisoner concept.
Oh, come on.
We can do it, but like we might just walk into nothing.
Here's my idea.
Or doing that for nothing.
I have a thought. I like your idea of the fake prisoner thing as well. Rather than convincing.
It was your idea.
That's what I said. I wasn't. No.
Good job,
Pilgrim.
Good job.
No, that's not. I meant your.
So I was like,
No, I didn't mean Cicero's idea. Cicero, your idea specifically.
I'm sending the book.
Cicero gets a gold sword.
But I think that rather than trying to potentially convince that you have captured 5 of us,
One of you.
one of us, and the rest of us can stay out here and keep guard to make sure no goblins come in after us.
Like, I found a prisoner and then run out.
If there are goblin settlements there, maybe, yeah.
Two potential strategies here.
Oh my gosh.
We could Cicero the
good at
goblin is taking a prisoner into the cave, or Cicero the goblin has found a bard to entertain the goblin.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like
best
a just
buddies.
for the Goblin King?
I think it's time for you to give the performance of your lifetime, Misery.
Oh boy. Alright.
I'm so sorry.
I do like the second idea.
Into the cave with you two.
What if I cast alarm at the entrance?
Oh, no,
So
no.
we go in.
Oh.
I'm a bard. Or
No, you're
I'm
a
a
goblin.
goblin. He's a bard. We get in there. We start playing the song. Mid-performance, I turn into you, and we're tag team bard. And then they chase us out, and there's an alarm, and then you guys know, and then we attack them.
Yeah, if we rock them so hard, they'll just be like blown away and then like have to like give us money and they will leave us alone.
We don't need
Perhaps when you play, you try the wonderful trick you pulled on Loreleth and myself in that cave.
Make them fall in love with you.
It's settled. We'll sit out here in our filth while you two go inside the
I'm
cave.
so glad I didn't put any butter on
So
myself.
crazy. It just might work.
Alright, I think you should have me as
Gosh.
All right.
Okay.
It's gonna be so good when there's like the cave goes like 3 feet in and there's nothing there.
Exactly.
Done this whole thing.
Or it's like
But
2 miles
we've
long.
planned it.
What I know if a goblin would be willing to use a ring that lights up or
It's not in a cave.
torch
Take a wild guess to
to light the path.
We have normal torches.
Good fuck.
That's a history question.
Dude, I can tell you that we should just use a normal torch. Goblins don't have that.
I don't think that takes a check of
The only goblin with a magic ring.
I just like goblin. I don't know.
Plus 18, or I have an 18 on history about what I know about goblins.
Oh, he rolled already.
You a torch.
Okay. Can I just think about what I know about goblins? I've lived in these woods in the Istro Club.
Yeah, just tell us everything you know.
You want to? Okay. So are you asking what do you know about goblins?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to embody the goblin.
Okay. Yeah.
Read the Wikipedia.
Goblin the
He's doing his character study right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to method act.
Got it. Okay.
What's that?
I mean, with the founding of Populous,
Yes.
the founding festival, in the way that.
Oh, I remember that we did that show.
Yeah.
You were the.
That's it.
I was the main guy.
Yes.
They killed goblins.
That killed goblins.
We
Yes.
were goblins.
Destiny.
I got this. You were born for this. I'm gonna take off whatever clothes stuff I need necessary to make myself look like a goblin.
Sister strips naked.
Yeah, that's a goblin.
Why this doesn't have my normal clothes? I'm a goblin with
No, I mean, you
Please
don't have
don't
to
take
take
back.
that off, but you can just like move it around and run away. We're like,
I'm just goblining up.
I found a bard and I'm naked.
Let's go, Bar. Performance of your life.
All right.
okay. Make a
Search
performance check,
prisoner.
each of you, as you.
Are we going in? We gotta go in and see him.
Yeah, we
first.
do have to walk in.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, what is your goal?
We're gonna walk in as soon as we see the goblins. I'm gonna say in goblin. because I speak them.
Okay, got it.
What's up, fam?
Okay.
I got a prisoner.
With
But
your
he's not a prisoner. He's a bard, and he's here to perform for us.
Okay.
Okay.
So the two of you walk shoulder to shoulder.
Well, no, I
You
got
gotta,
him like, yeah, I got
Right.
right.
The torch
I
forward.
put some rope around my arm or something.
Yeah, I'll put some rope around his arms, but like not actually tied, like fake tied.
Okay. Each of you make a perception check as you head forward.
It's not even.
14. We got
11.
I have 3 luck, and we got Jeffrey.
Okay. As your torch lights the rest of the path, which you can see ahead is about 10 feet before the two walls meet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your torchlight does kind of spark up, and you can see a little bit of like a purple magical light down towards the end of that. Purple? At the end of that whole
Can I do an Arcana check to see what's going on here?
Yeah, you want to get closer to see it better?
As close as I feel like I need to get, yeah.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Okay, Arcana check.
Yeah.
15 plus 5. 20.
Nice.
Okay. As you approach the light and you get closer, you can see kind of a square cut in the light around the stone, and then an image comes forward against the wall too, which as you look at it and can see it's the sphere for what represents the school of transmutation magic.
What's transmutation?
Transmutation magic is what like turns things into other things.
It's transmutation magic.
Whoa.
Isn't that what you do?
That's like your whole deal.
To
It's
yourself?
like, that's me. So can I touch the stone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch it.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Can I take it?
You like move your hand through the light and everything.
Oh,
kind of,
it's invisible.
It's so light.
Yeah.
It's like glowing.
So, okay, I'm trying to imagine the walls come together, and then there's a square
yeah.
that's shining a light. It looks like the transmutation stone. And I'm going to.
Well, I'm gonna just turn around and look at our friends who are 10 feet away and say, "Hey, it's not a cave. There's no goblin.
It's transmutation magic.
Yeah.
Transmutation magic.
Come in, please. Help us."
I recommend that is. Let's do that. I'm glad there's nothing in there, and I think someone should still stand at the doorway, keeping guard
Well, I'll set up an alarm.
to make sure.
I'll set up an alarm at the door.
Okay,
I
great.
can do that in guard as well.
Great.
With
Yeah.
the alarm.
Lorelith and Gwendolyn, as you both are looking more at the cave system itself, as they call your attention, you're looking ahead and trying to set up some type of like defensive perimeter and all of that. You both notice that there's like kind of patches of dried grass and leaves and stuff kind of pushed together in one section, and then you have both of you notice too little traces of like dried liquid or fluid in like different drops around that as well.
I'm gonna pick up a rock or something and throw it at the pile of the dried leaves.
I'm sorry, it's not like a tall pile or anything. It looks more flattened, and there's actually like a dent pushed into it. And you can
Correct.
kind of see the stuff.
I would like to throw a rock into it.
And it just kind of hits and settles in.
It goes,
It hits the grasses and
but it doesn't go down deep. That's what I was testing.
yeah. You can hear the stone floor underneath it.
Flammable or
when it hits.
anything? But we're near the lake, right?
It's a pile of leaves, right?
Seems flammable.
Seems like a pile of leaves.
I was testing to make sure that it wasn't a trap if we stepped on it. That's all I was
Somebody's
doing.
flammable?
Great, let's check out this door. Is it the door?
Does this? Well, it's just a point. It's like a stone goes in. There's a glowing thing.
Do you want me to set an alarm at the entrance?
Yes, please.
Is it self-illuminating this purple light, or is it we only see it because of the torchlight? Like it's like.
Good question.
You don't know because the torchlight's still there, but it looks like the magical light itself is emitting some light.
Here, let's test.
Well, I would be. I mean,
it's going
you know, my
Put your hand up.
I always kind of get a little kind of jolt, electric shock of memory if I just see purple. So I'm gonna, I guess, do like a history check. I don't know, see if I recognize if this is like
It's
ringing any bells.
transmutation.
We know what type of magic it is, but what is the thing?
All right, yeah, no, it's a 19 plus 4 or something, 23.
Okay, yeah. Thinking back to trainings and histories and things like that, you hear voices of teachers and people in your past who have walked through magical training about different things. You can also verify you recognize the symbol for transmutation magic there, and that in kind of discerning more and looking at it, that something around transmutation is what has like either created or locks this door, that it is mixed into what is going on with this particular situation.
So it is the door.
Like in a way that like I would know what to do about it, or just that I know what, like I have a category for this in my brain. Not like I've been taught how to use this.
More like, no, this is more you just like putting some pieces together rather than it being like you've specifically heard exactly what this thing is.
Okay.
Would it help if I read what I wrote down that Rickledar said about the door?
Please.
Yeah, we should.
Obviously.
Please.
I mean, trying, but y'all were.
What did he say?
That doesn't sound like us.
There's a door. It might not be helpful. There's a door cut into a ravine along the right side where a long stone panel is. Seems like weather so far.
Feels like it's
There's a section of the stone that lights up, and it had runes that Rickledar's people couldn't read. We can, it seems like. It looks like a long cut into the stone in the middle of the woods, which seems interesting.
This is the door.
Yeah.
You think?
Seems as though it lines up, but that's all he said about it.
Do we
He
have
said
the
they
runes?
couldn't read it and they couldn't open it.
Yeah, it's the
I think they just didn't know what the transmutation said.
I'm gonna start just turning into all the different creatures that I know that I can turn into.
Thinking that's the key to
Like,
open the
if I
door.
short circuit the door into the right thing, then
Right,
it'll-
like using your racial ability, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you all see Cicero go through a plethora of messes.
all naked.
So Tuli goes up to the door and she's like looking at it really carefully. I mean, can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah,
I don't know that I'll learn anything.
Right.
Further. But nat 20. 25.
Okay, great.
Better learn
Anything that we didn't know.
Yeah.
It's transmutation.
You, as both the transmutation symbol comes forward, and then you start to recognize a little pattern of other runes and symbols that are kind of mixed into that one, and you can start to actually read the threads of Arcana that have been used to create this spell that is this door, and you get just a couple different words and pieces in this amount of time that, like, if you of course sat here for like an hour, you could probably discern the full spell, but in these minutes of just reading through, or seconds, the words that you get out of it are like using the power, bringing forth or manifesting transmutation, and sealed. Things like that are the basic arcana words of what people are using in the magic to create this spell. And
Tuli is kind of like turned over to the side and is like reading it upside down, and she says, Cicero, I think, why don't you try casting a transmutation spell?
That's what I'm doing.
Alarm?
That's your racial ability.
No, is that different?
Yeah.
Oops.
yeah, what you were doing was not magical.
Cicero.
If you click on your spells, you can see what school it is.
Julie pulls out a laptop. Welcome starts screaming and pointing.
Tuli's eyes just roll back in her head.
You broke the planes of existence.
They're speaking in Infernal, aka
Okay, I would would say
That's funny.
sounds good. I can catapult.
Catapult.
My only chance to change a spell.
There's no goblins.
Cicero launches his body at the stone wall.
Do wizards have concepts for describing spell slots?
Yeah.
Okay.
That. Yeah. I mean, you could explicitly say them. That's fine.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Sorry.
Okay.
Is that-
You're able to explicitly say them. That there is an understanding of like spells have different powers. They cost like a different amount of energy of what you can do in a day. Things like that. It's all like fair game.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll say tier.
I have several transmutation cantrips, so I'm gonna try to message it, like message the orb,
Okay.
and say, "Open sesame."
The light sinks into the stone, and then you can see a black line kind of form around, and then the doors.
When before it's too late, I go, Bello.
And the stone slides
Trying to
in
speak French so we could enter.
at a very loud level. And you hear it grind
Oh, Bello.
against the other stone with your torch out, now illuminates into a long, still cave stone-like hallway.
Would you say it's almost dungeon-like?
I would say that.
I'm gonna immediately turn back into a goblin.
Guys, no, yeah, we gotta do the thing.
Let's do the thing.
Now.
It's definitely goblins. Let's do the thing now. Let's go first. We'll do the thing.
Wrap me up.
All right, here we go.
Why do you think there's goblins in here?
do it.
Just let them have this.
I kind of like motion for them to go.
We're gonna go again and try again. Down the long hallway.
Okay.
Still torch out. I'm now gonna speak in goblin, and I'm gonna say, "Hello,
Another 10-foot corridor.
it's me, a goblin."
No, don't say that.
Boogada, boogada, boogada. What do goblins sound like?
Like that.
Whatever you want them to
You
sound
speak
like.
goblin. You know that.
Okay. Try to offend as little people as possible.
Let's go with that.
Don't offend
I'm
the
sorry for all
goblins.
of our goblin watchers.
Goblins are going to be really mad about this one.
Personal. That's a personal slight. You can email me
What's your email?
at
Cicero and
Goblin hater.
Is it
kingleo@dnd@gmail.com.
Is it dark inside? Like, what do we see?
You see Cicero in misery start to walk in, making obnoxious sounds.
yelling boogala boogala.
I'm making no sounds.
And they go 5, 10, 20 feet to a point where you can still see the torchlight, but then like the shadow starts to stretch in between you and them, and them kind of yelling out and walking into the space. And what you all see is that the torch, I think, gives like 30 feet of normal light and then 60 feet of dim light. And so you get to a point where
Yeah, that's
great. And so you can see through the light too. That you can see about maybe 60 feet across all the way. You can get to, like, down this hall is where it ends and splits left and right. But then off to your left, you can see it shoots off into about 2 or 3 different pathways. And there's no sounds or anything. It is you imitate goblin shout. You can hear it just echo and then come back.
I mean,
gonna
he
keep-
just wanted us to get in, right? We weren't given something specific to do inside
Are
here.
you saying we've completed our mission?
I was asking.
No.
Right?
No, he wanted us to get
Like a
treasures or something.
Was it treasure? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep, because messaging opened the door, I'm gonna also send some messages
Yeah, he
out.
doesn't know what's
That's it.
Down every-
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, it was me, I opened the door.
Two follows.
Remind me how this place opened up. Did it like open up, or it literally just like went down and created this hallway? Like
The-
magic, like.
The stone split into 2 parts, sunk in, and then moved off to the sides.
Okay. I guess I'm just thinking about us getting like sealed inside again accidentally.
Thanks, message.
I'm sure that we can get out with more than that. Yeah, message.
Great.
Just use the message.
Yeah, I think that too.
Just read the message.
Okay. Yeah. So we have multiple corridors essentially that we can go.
Should we all split up? No.
That's bad for horror movies, but this is a fantasy
What is
movie.
a horror movie?
So,
It's a movie.
All right, so there are 6 in our party. The half dozen 6. We have
It's us.
say 2 or 3 quarters.
At this point where you all sync up where the light meets, you can see immediately to your left splits off into 2, and then down a long straight hallway. There's another pathway that leads off to the left, and then the end wall splits off into 2 as well.
Okay.
It's a maze.
We just gotta pick one. We should start.
What do I thought? 6, 3 and 3, 2, 2, 2.
No, let's just stay together, man.
I like that idea.
Start at the closest passage. Wait.
Can I do a perception check real quick and see if there's any trappies or anything?
Sure. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Always thinking about the traps.
Cutesy pootsy trappies.
Just
That's me.
Widow spears.
What is that?
6.
That makes it 8. No. 9.
Okay.
I mean, I would do this too.
It feels uncomfortable to you as you're looking through like what these walls are and how quickly you've transitioned from what felt very comfortable in the woods to now is like this is man-made, and the idea that there's like magic imbued in this too and what's going on, you just very much shift into this feels very uncomfortable and odd and different in construction, and then as you look towards the ground, you don't see signs of things that you're like familiar with, the fine traps, the walls, everything. It's like, I don't even know what to look for here.
Fog light.
I certainly untied my hands, by the way. And I'm kind of.
I would kind
gonna be
of
starting
notice
again.
Loreleth's discomfort and my own little look around. Sees that isn't much better. We're perceiving, we're not investigating, or I guess.
What are you trying to do?
I mean, we're looking for traps, I would think.
Yeah,
as we're going.
If you want to do like a fine look and like more like very closely investigate like with your hands and stuff, you can do an investigation check for that too.
Yeah, I think I'm investigating right now as we got to this initial space. But I mean, it's a 7 + 6, so it's not great. It's a 13.
Okay, yeah, and you using this torchlight from Cicero, and you look down this first path off to the left that feels like the shortest and most immediate, and looking at the walls and all of that, there's like not much space to fiddle around to make traps or anything here, and even from like you are familiar with being in stone hallways and stuff like that, you're looking more at the ceiling for things that could like fall down and all of that. Everything looks pretty sturdily made here, and not like prepared in some way to stop or trap anyone.
Julie's gonna say she's gonna cast Produce Flame and hold the flame and next to the wall and be like, should I like mark the way we've come or something like that?
Whoa.
That's the smartest idea.
Julie says, thanks.
Yeah.
And she's gonna Produce Flame is a cantrip, but I can use it to attack as well. But so I'm just gonna cast it at the wall and leave a scorch mark.
Yeah.
Nice. I want it to be noticeable.
Yeah.
So I do that and leave it like a scorch mark.
Yeah, a black ring with like little like stretch lines around it.
Cool.
Very cool.
Now we know where we've been.
That would make a good band.
Well, now let's find out where you're going.
Let's go down the first hallway. Here we go. Bye.
Closest one. That's
Who's
where-
first? That's important.
I'll go first. I'm a goblin still.
You have the torch too. That's fine.
Yep, that's great.
Julie also
Clear
keeps
the path.
in the back has.
Does no one else have a torch?
We do. Oh, yeah. Don't need to have a
I
torch.
just thought we'd find out lots of torches. Torch party.
Produce Flame sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius.
Oh, I have dark vision.
I have this ring if anyone wants it.
I don't care. I have dark vision.
This light.
I got dark vision.
I think, I mean, is that like a part of the basic pack? Does everyone have a torch? Because I think if I didn't have a torch, then I would just light it and then mage hand it.
We can use other people's because
Yeah, I'm thinking tactically
30
here.
feet apart.
Because I have a fiery distraction if need be.
Ooh.
I'm just going to have this torch kind of floating beside me.
Cool.
And then going in.
Cool.
All right, so
I'm going in.
walk through about 30 feet and see this first hallway that bends off to the left and then cuts back in. And so as you all kind of huddle in shoulder to shoulder, you're peering through and trying to figure out what is in this space and what this first room holds, you see busted wooden tables that have fallen in upon each other on the periphery of the room. Bookshelves that have been completely emptied and cleared that are also busted, knocked over, and have fallen apart. Shattered glass around the perimeters as well, with old dried spots of different fluids where the glass was. But there's still an intact table in the center of this room with a couple different glass like beakers or vials, some shed papers and pages kind of scattered around the room as well, and it just looks like a pretty old and destroyed space.
Does the liquid look the same as the liquid that was at the front of the cave?
Sure. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Julie would be wondering the same thing.
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check as well.
Don't talk to each other.
Okay.
Just roll your brain dice and don't speak.
Gross.
11.
Okay. As you think back to
That liquid's the same color.
as you think back to the liquid that was back in the hall, in the entrance, like hallway kind of space, you remember seeing that like where the liquid was, a lot of the leaves and grasses and stuff that was there was kind of like burned away. That there was some type of like caustic thing to that liquid, and then here, as you're like smelling and seeing what's here, like it doesn't seem like that or smell the same. Sorry, Julie, but like you don't get anything at all. Yeah.
Wet, liquid.
I'd say that Pilgrim is like kind of kneeling down at some of these like random papers that are scattered everywhere, and it's just like kind of just skimming over, like not an intensive like reading line by line, but just does any like line or words or anything popping off the page.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I would go look at the vials too. So smell it.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Oh my gosh, it said 3 + 6, 9.
nature or arcana, whichever is better for you.
Arcana. Is that right? +5.
Let's start rolling in here instead.
Let's go.
Tuli would also be looking at the pages. of the
Okay.
books.
Yeah, and you can do an investigation check as well.
Misery doesn't care about anything in this room.
These aren't wet.
I have 22.
22. Okay. And you.
That one.
And one.
Guys, does anybody else care about what's in this room but me?
Are you good?
Actually, every time.
Okay, over there.
Every time you're about to look at a page as it's on the ground and turn your head, Cicero just grabs it. You move on to another one and then he starts reading this one too.
Oh, you're reading? Oh, my bad. What's this? What's this? What's this?
Cicero, you start reading some very interesting notes that you can see scribbles on things like taking memories and ideas and thoughts and innate magical knowledge and then infusing them into potions. That is a process that was being explored in this room. And then also on a couple other pages, more like alchemy type stuff that you're pretty familiar with, but at a level that you are newly exposed to now, that people, whoever this note taker was able to turn things like copper, bronze, silver, gold, any like precious metals, and turn them into diamonds, something much more valuable. A couple
Put
of
those notes in my bag.
yeah, okay. And so you get a sense of like what was going on in this room, and then also in that too, you can look over and see that there is still one intact glass bottle with a very wide base with a light blue liquid
I'm
in
gonna
it.
drink it.
Oh!
What?
The light blue diamond color liquid?
The one that has memories. Right?
You would assume from what you read. Yeah.
Let's hope.
I mean, I'm gonna smell it first.
Sure.
Are you gonna ask for anyone's input?
Guys, I'm gonna drink this.
Is that wise?
Yes.
We just.
I'm gonna drink it.
Okay.
Just drink it.
Didn't the last time you drank something, your
went
house got destroyed?
Exactly how I wanted it to.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dear.
drink it.
Okay.
Check the room for trolls.
I mean, you can't not drink anything ever again.
Sure, but
Water.
like unknown
I read it.
liquids?
No, it's memories. I want to see the memories there.
Yeah, you read it. You're trusting that that's telling the truth.
Yes. I read it.
You don't want to try to use your magic or anything
Drink
to
it,
figure out if
drink
this
it.
is okay or any other
Just.
skill you might have to
It's like you're
check it
saying all
out
this while he's
before.
I've smelled it. The DM would tell me if that means I need to roll.
I don't think that he would.
What are you trying to do when you sniff it?
I want to say, okay, this sheet says it's got memories in it. Does it smell like memory? Do I know anything about how these two things would be correlated?
Now you're a handsome prince and your donkey is a horse.
Have I seen anything like that? I just want to know, like, I should drink this, right?
You don't want to check to
That's
see
my
if it
question.
might kill you
No.
or.
I should drink this, right? That's the question I'm asking.
Okay. Make an arcana check.
I would just drink it.
11.
We know.
Okay. Yeah. As you smell it, like of the dangerous things that you have known through alchemy and things like that, of like what would smell caustic, that it would burn you, that it would hurt you, or anything like that. Like this doesn't smell like a dangerous.
Drinking it.
Yo, save some for me!
It's also funny that like that's the way you think to access the memories is to ingest it.
It's a potion. What do you do with the potion?
Fair.
You drink it. Guys, I have a long history in Arcana. I like to drink wild potions.
Sometimes potions you
What?
pour into a basin.
It's already been in the basin.
That's how you make potions.
So that's why it's a potion.
We're trying to reason with Cicero right now.
I've already drank it. Drunken.
Yeah.
What happened?
My only reasoning is that you saved some for me.
Oh, you want some?
Did you drink it all?
No.
I'm gonna wait till it's.
Yeah, you're trying to wide-eyed, just staring at Cicero.
Okay, next one. Hey, next one. I got you.
That's fine.
I would say the torch drops because I'm just so flabbergasted with this. I'm not even thinking about controlling anything anymore. So it hits the floor.
This is wild. Okay.
You didn't think I was gonna drink it.
No, it's good. It's meant to be drank.
Yes.
It had a little tag on it that
Random access memories.
Hey, Cicero, drink me.
He shrinks into a teeny tiny.
I'm
Cicerina.
from the Easterina family.
You
Anyways.
you drink this potion. And you feel this like intense carbonation feeling like all the way down to your
yes.
stomach. That feels like a flavor that was next to adjacent of a pomegranate. Yeah.
Yes.
But then as you are like digesting it, and then you can feel this presence into your mind, you can feel this voice start to speak in a language that then talks about the Arcana, and you can hear like the instructions of spells being talked about.
What?
In your father's voice.
Oh!
And
Dad, Isero?
yeah. And so,
Is this Isero?
and so you're hearing this, and it feels familiar, and it feels like he's talking to you, at you, or about you. And then he's starting to describe, and you get this vision in your head of him standing in a place, disappearing, and then reappearing, and using that to then like move about.
What? Father.
And in that too, the
Isero
ability to do that
comes to me.
comes to you, and you feel like you could do this magic.
I can.
But it's a very strong level magic. And so this is a 3rd level spell. I don't know if you're capable of 3rd level spells
don't know
yet.
if I
I don't think so.
You're not.
Not capable.
But if and when that were to come around, like this voice is in your head instructing you and teaching you how, and it becomes a part of you.
Man, that sounds awesome. What's it called?
Part of your
Spell?
world.
The spell's called Blink.
Bullying. I don't have it.
All the small things.
I don't have any spells.
As you all see,
Basically.
as his like he pretty much just stares off, and after he drinks, it's just kind of gone and in his head for a bit, and you all see him kind of turn translucent and then reform and then kind of like disappear and come back, and it looks like he's kind of flickering in his space as his body's like reacting to this, and then your consciousness just kind of comes back to you and you processed everything that just happened.
Are you all right, Cicero?
Yes.
Oh, what was that? What happened?
It was Isero.
Cicero, your father,
Isero.
Dad.
son of
Isero.
who was the son of
Sure can't do this again. Can't do it every time.
Isero.
Oh,
I thought it was Cicero.
Isero.
your father. Was this your father's workshop? Do you think?
I don't know. He never told me about it.
Do you know?
Do you recognize the handwriting on these notes? Is it your father's?
I don't know. Is it?
He says off into the distance.
I don't know.
Tell me on.
Dungeon Master. Is it my father's handwriting?
The papers that have to do with turning metals into diamonds looks a lot like your father's handwriting.
It sure does look like.
All the eyes have hearts, just like his dad.
I drank it. You guys were all like, "Don't drink it." I drank it, and then my father's voice, and he taught me a spell that I can't use because I can't use level 3 spells yet. But he taught me a spell of how to go from one place to another instantly.
Have you told us? I mean, no, your dad is not here anymore. Did you tell us what happened to him?
I have no idea what happened.
Okay.
Do you think this place could give you some answers?
I don't know. I have this orb from him. It's my only memory.
What does the orb look like? What's the orb?
Purple.
What?
It's a purple orb.
Just the purple orb?
Is this what you found in the drawer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then also
Stone.
there was a grave like of your dad's that was outside.
My town.
Has he shown us this orb before?
He's got a great home in the backyard. I didn't remember.
I was gonna say, like, I
To be
mean,
honest, I think I visited a lot. I think I just did it. I don't remember.
I want to look at, is that orb Hustone? I'm taking a look at it.
It's not an orb.
stone.
It is a
It's a
small
purple
piece of
stone.
stone, but it's a tiny shard of husk stone. Yeah.
But it's purple.
Your father gave you this?
Viscero Isero, son of Isero Isero.
Can you talk to it?
Son of Cicero Isero.
May I? I'm gonna hold out my hand. May I?
Okay. Did I not drop it though?
Shatters thus.
Yeah.
He left that to me. He said, I gotta go away. And
I mean, I guess I want to investigate this to see if there's someone living in this stone too.
Sure. You can make an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay.
Did I know about my father's grave? I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did.
You took the potion right on top.
My father's dead.
A
He's in his
15
grave in the
or a
backyard.
15 plus 3, 18.
Okay, it's vacant.
Ooh, you want to have it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was kind of getting like mounting excitement, and that kind of dims a little bit. But, yeah. Where did your father come upon this?
To be honest, I have no idea. He just gave it to me. He said, son, I'm going on a journey, and then he gave it to me, and then he died. Now he's in the backyard.
How do you know he died?
I buried him in the backyard, apparently.
Did you bury him, or did he just
I don't know.
put
He's got
like
a grave. I'm trying to put pieces together
memorial?
myself.
Yeah. Cicero's not even sure. You can see that on his face as he's talking through
That's
this.
in character right now.
Yeah.
So you're not sure that there's a body in that grave,
I know that it's a grave.
but it could be like just a memorial type thing.
Yep. But he gave me the stone, and he said, I'm going away, and now it's your responsibility to... He gave me this stone, and he said, I'm going away, and now it's my responsibility to take care of the people of Populous, and so I was going to take care of them, which is why I did my potion that I did, and which is why I also drank this one. I don't really know why. I was just there, and I like drinking potions, and so I drank it, and then his voice popped back in my head, and he said, son, this is the path. You do this, and then this, and then this, and you can appear different places, and then it went away.
Sick.
So maybe your dad is not dead.
Oh my god.
Just a thought. And we could be on the path to finding him, and he could maybe have some answers for us around these stones.
Maybe he's stuck in the ethereal plane forever.
Do you think my dad is not dead?
I very gently put the stone back into his hand.
I don't know.
What was I looking at this whole time? Oh, there it is.
I think we gotta search and find out.
Certainly, this structure just became tenfold more interesting. That was a strangely phrased sentence.
Have we basically exhausted what's in this room as far as we can tell? I guess we kind of looked around.
Any more potions to drink?
Papers and potions and
Tuli's gonna say to Cicero, wow, big moves.
Big Daddy moves.
Oh no!
I'll be honest, this is a lot. Bought my issues, I got it, okay?
Do we think that any of these papers might be of interest to Big Rick? What do y'all think? Is this the treasure that we're contractually obligated to bring to him?
I don't know if he cares about this stuff.
I would say it would be wise to collect as much as we can in this room.
This was literally the first place that we went. There's like 4 other.
We opened the door every time, and it's really like this everywhere.
Each room has a cool fact
Come
about
on, guys, you want an adventure? We want to finish the task so badly.
Is there in the room? It's like a room and it dead ends, or is there like a door on the other side that we can keep going?
Okay, so now that
Decent question.
with looking across the room, what else is left and all of that, you picked up a lot of the papers that over some more time of reading later, you could get some more information from. As for vials and stuff like that, there was one intact, but the rest is just like kind of shattered and spilled around, and it is completely sealed without all the walls and no other paths to see through.
If this is Viscero Isero's writing, I'm not going to want anybody else to take it.
Okay.
Can I make an investigation check to see if there are any like trick doors or anything in the stone?
Tricky Dicky.
I'm gonna do a minor illusion of a trap.
Oh my god.
Right behind Loreleth. Go, Loreleth, look out!
During all this,
Good.
because Cicero's insistent about holding on to Bissor's papers, I'm like collecting them and just like handing them to him as I like get like stacks.
Aw, buddies.
I'm just like,
20.
whoa.
Right, yeah.
Not nat 20, but
Yeah.
20.
30-20.
You slip through, dodge shards of glass and stick in the ground, and are feeling your hands around and trying to just like seek through if there's anything hidden within the space, and you feel pretty confident you don't find anything that leads anywhere.
Great.
Tilly says, next corridor?
Yes.
Whose father's memories will be trapped in the next room?
Oh God, hopefully not mine. My dad's very alive though. What's that like?
You were just Alright. So yeah, Pilgrim is very intrigued now. I think this whole thing is very interesting. So I'm gonna lead the charge into the next
The next
room.
one. Let's go.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, so just rounding the left corner,
Yes.
walking through.
Some would say I mind linked my torch back up, and now I'm going on into the next room.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check as you lead forward.
Every bend, I'm kind of marking that we've already been to.
Every bend you take, every step. 17 plus 5, 22.
As your torchlight extends, and then the light from Thule thrusting this fireball into the side of it to just scorch the path that y'all are going through. In that of extra light, the edge of your torch just extends out, and you can see the head of a like wolf creature, and you can see just the chest like rise and fall, just laying on the ground, and then that light kind of dissipates out.
Get up
Can you tell us?
I'd stop, and then I'm gonna like turn around, and I'm gonna mind link with Lorelith as soon as she comes into view. Like, I don't need to whisper, it's in her brain.
Yeah.
Lorelith, there's a creature here. I need you to investigate.
You go look at it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess like basically, like, do I know what this is? Like just looking at it, glancing at it.
Wolf.
It's a wolf creature, but like what I do, like, oh, that's a warg or whatever. I don't know.
It's a big.
It looked like a wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured Nature Lady over here is gonna know more.
Yeah.
Hey, nature lady.
Crazy.
Well,
plant
first,
woman.
I
Biologist.
kind of come up. I hear him say that in my mind, and kind of silently whistle to like, as a like, like to make everyone stop without causing too much commotion. So that way, hopefully, everyone gets the idea that there is.
Don't drop your drum.
Shh. So that doesn't happen.
One snare.
And then I have dark vision, so I
You can see all the way through as he calls your attention, and you get this black and white gray scale of what is beyond the torchlight. You can actually see 3 different wolves kind of huddled together towards the end of this hallway, all laying down and seemingly sleeping.
in their. I can tell they're actual wolves. They're not.
Yeah, go ahead and make an enter check.
You're sure it's not baby goats? It's not a pile of baby goats.
Yeah, we just want to kill a bunch of large kittens.
I know. I
Is it
want
not 2 small kids in a trench coat to look like a wolf?
Okay, guys, remember when we came upon a crab that's not just a crab? That's what I'm asking about.
I don't remember that.
Those were giants.
Monsters. You were there. What are you talking about? You helped us fight them. What does that say?
This one?
Yeah.
3.
Oh man.
It's furry.
Do I have an advantage on this one?
This is a weird cat.
But it's nature.
Do you need somebody else who's good at
You
nature?
have a really good modifier on that,
Yeah,
but
that's what you get
unfortunately.
then.
Do you need somebody else who's good at nature?
6.
Are you yelling this in front of the wolves?
Okay, I got.
You want me to look?
I got a 6. What do I find out from that?
Right, yeah, and looking at them, you can see like thick, dark fur, large size to them. That they look not like dire wolf size, or it's like something like massively intimidating. But at least a small pack of wolves, a couple of them. Then.
Do they look like werewolves?
No, they look like.
Yeah,
Just
just
regular
wolves, guy.
I just want to make sure. We're in a magical cave.
I'm gonna mind link with.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Oh, so I'm so sorry.
Dang.
I want to befriend one of them.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I want it to be my friend.
Okay.
How do I do that? As a ranger
I
who
think you
becomes
feed it
a master master of a
Introduce
beast.
yourself.
A piece of
Yeah, I thought it was a spell.
and then you right click on it.
You
So you do.
right click on it. Be friend.
Okay, without looking at features, because you don't really, except for what your subclass is, role play for me of like in your intention of bonding and beseeching this creature. How would you do that?
Okay.
Well, they're hurt.
While she's doing that, I've like crept back and I'm actually going back to the other room again.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm doing something.
Running.
like-
Sorry, yeah.
To your back. Where are you going?
Wait. I can mind link back with him for how much time?
Oh, for like an hour. I mean, like
For like an hour. So before he walks away, I'm gonna say back to him, and it looks like they're just wolves. I'm going to see what I can do to ensure that they don't cause us any harm.
And I'm going to go and collect as much broken glass as I can in case we need as many sharp things as we could.
Why are we all stopped in the middle of the hallway?
You say that out loud because we're just silently looking at each other.
I kind of go like this, and then if you want to tell them what's going on, you're fine to do that.
I look at Cicero.
You tell.
I look at each person except Tuli, and I'm gonna go wolves, wolves.
I think I can see.
I look at Tuli and I go.
Yeah. Okay, befriend them, please.
Yes. So I very quietly and stealthily walk up to them, and
Join the
What are
party.
you doing?
they're still sleeping.
I'm in
And
the other room collecting broken glass.
I told you to tell them what I'm doing.
He did.
Well, I said wolves to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing.
As you get closer,
I said I'm going to make sure they don't cause us any harm.
Oh.
first make a stealth check for me.
Can I be as stealthy as possible? I'll make it stealth.
Yeah, it was not very stealthy. There you go.
Pretty
I
good.
think I have a modifier.
It's 2.
Maybe. No, I don't.
Oh.
Okay.
Just 12.
I am going to add some to the natural stuff that you've put on to yourself of like blending into some of the
You are
darkness.
covered
Even though
in
you're
dark.
not like camouflaged into trees, it still like darkens a lot of the brighter towns would do.
I think you're a tree in the cave. So.
Wolves don't want to eat mud.
But you get closer within like 5 to 10 feet of one of them, then the other two just about 10 feet beyond that one. And as you can see their breath rising and falling, the one closest to you, you can actually see little thin patches by its throat where the fur is kind of pushed away. But when the breath comes in, you can see little flicks of flame, of fiery red underneath of that skin. And then the one further away, you can see little crackles of blue, like little lightning streaks in that skin. And then in the third one as well, that there's kind of a greenish glow to that little thin patch of skin.
Do we think this is Pyroar, the fire lion Pokemon?
I noticed that, and
Choose your starter Pokemon.
These are some hot wolves.
I approach honestly just the first one that I see,
Okay.
and I kind of using what I know about animals and how to approach them without spooking them, kind of come up and calmly give him a little pet and wake him up. Yes, I'm gonna do it to him.
Put him in the battle.
I calmly come up and I give little pets, and then I take one of the spare bones that's on my person, and I kind of like use my dagger to cut it off from the thing. And because these bones are scavenged, they still smell like meat, at least a little bit. And I take the bone and I put it in front of
His little sleepy mouth.
the little wolfy sweepy mouse face. And give it some pets so it knows that I am calm.
Okay. So this is the one with the like fiery.
I guess that's the first one that I
That's the
saw.
first one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stab you with broken glass.
Make a nature check with advantage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have animal handling. Does that do
Oh,
anything?
animal handling, yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. But with advantage. So.
Yeah.
That was a 15. What's that one?
8.
Great. Thank you for your help, most
That's why he came in here.
To be a prop.
18.
Okay. Its eyes open up as you are lifting up its head and sliding this bone into its mouth. And in its eyes, you can see the two slits light up a fiery red too.
It's like how to be mauled by wolves for dummies.
And
Not me. I just
Wake
rolled
it up
an
with
18 on animal handling.
Yeah, it'll feel bad while it kills you.
Give it one of your toes to snack on.
you can feel that its immediate response is like protective, anger, fear, and to attack. But you put this bone in its mouth, and your eye contact with it immediately soothes it, and its eyes just kind of rest a bit, and you are locked in together. Make another nature check with advantage.
Nature check or animal handling?
Animal handling, thank you. Sorry.
There's 3 of them. Pretty good already.
Okay, 17 plus
Dirty
3 is 20.
Dirty 20.
And open, like its lips start to peel back, and its like teeth become bared. And then
Smile at me?
It's the Joker.
and then it rolls its head and twists and kind of like nuzzles into your lap.
Oh, little buddy.
And then this internal bond you feel connect of like almost its thoughts start to appear in your mind, and this voice of home and safety just registers, and then there's this connection of an old, feels like weird memory of the way things used to be in your home and living side by side with people and animals, and something that you've seen so many people in your family do before too, and a family connection that has been lost for a long time that like feels spoken to inside of you, and then it like kind of gets up, and you can feel that like there's this connection of your will and what it does as well.
We're never going to fight anything.
Yeah, we're just gonna befriend everybody.
Charm everything.
I
Huge pack of all our friends behind us.
take a second and just like as it's like nuzzled into my lap, I kind of just like stroke it calmly and sort of like lean into it and sit there for.
Sorry. This is just the most tender moment with this wolf that like wants to kill us.
Not anymore.
You give it your Skip Town business card.
And
Why not your phone party?
no, that's the video shoot. The phone party's on Saturday. And if you have a dog or you don't have a dog and like dogs, you can come. And I kind of give it a second and sit there and say, well, so we're connected, so it can also hear my thoughts.
Go for it. You can try.
And I think in my mind, hello, friend, and just kind of like sit there with him for a minute and say, I'm Loreleth. Who are you?
You don't hear words. You get more of like emotions and feelings, and like the way that you can almost like read its face or its body language, but then even more and deeper than that too. And it just you sense comfort in it when you say your name, and that it just kind of meets that level of familiarity and emotion to you.
Thank you.
And then its eyes kind of move past you, and it looks towards the people who are all huddled and just watching this happen. And its eyes just kind of glare up for a second, and that fires, and you hear a little growl start to come in.
I, in my brain, kind of calmly say, these are my friends, and they are here with me on an adventure we are on, and I would like you to join us, but they are not to be, what's the word? No, I can't think of my own
Fish
word.
are friends, not food.
There's no reason to fear them or to protect me from them. They can be your friends as well.
Okay, make a persuasion check with advantage. And everyone else make a stealth check, as you all have just been hanging out here by these sleeping wolves.
Well, I'm coming back around the corner with a box full of broken glass. But
As you're holding this broken glass,
yeah.
what could possibly go wrong?
You said with advantage, right?
They are friends.
Breaks off.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh, 21.
Nice.
I persuaded the hell out of that wolf.
It's her friend forever.
Do you drop all of the glass?
I do, because I rolled a nat 1.
No!
Don't worry, I also rolled that one.
No, we need Jeffrey. Can I get some luck? Can I give him some luck or something, please? I want to help.
I dropped the drums.
I want to help him so bad. Can I?
Totally, what did you roll?
15.
Okay, Gwendolyn.
6.
Okay.
Oh.
Natural one.
Wait, can I do Artificer's Blessing to one of them?
Not after.
Can we do Jeffrey for one of them?
I mean, I had like as much broken glass as I could carry.
There's 5 of us doing
They
it.
both rolled 1. What's the point?
I don't know. This was such a...
I really want to fight these wolves, so please make this happen.
One of them's your friend.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
Yeah, so really we're
To be
fighting
honest.
2 wolves now.
Yeah.
What does everyone think about giving Stephen Jeffrey?
Because of the glass.
Yes!
Can we undo me dropping?
I've already been
That's
on
not
that
happened yet.
I feel like it'll be a waste because you also rolled a 1.
He doesn't have glass.
Yeah, that's my worry. He doesn't have anything that could possibly make
That doesn't
us
change
cheaper
how much
than
one is worth.
I think Jeffrey should happen pre.
Right. Yeah.
Not
I
like,
think
oh,
we've
that
done it.
sucked. Let's make Jeffrey fix
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it
There's
was like
that.
goblins. So.
Can I use Jeffrey?
For
You
what?
already went.
I just never get to use it.
Yeah, well, maybe later.
Okay.
I
gonna do
feel-
it.
yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Thanks.
Sure, okay, we can save him for combat or something.
Okay.
This is a silly situation.
It
Let's
is.
see what
It's a
happens.
very silly situation. So as Lorelith comforts this creature
With a nat 20.
with a nat 20, and you all see it like look at each of you deep in your eyes, and it just moves
We're
over,
all just like...
and you can feel its defensive, protective, and attacking nature relax within your hands. Then. Dropped object as people realize what is happening and kind of pulled into this moment where like they forget about their own bodies and what they are doing, and like a little piece slipped out of your hand as a glass, and then you try to catch it and it just and that all tumbled down, as well as Missouri kind of losing track of his drum, and so loud crashes and noise where then the 2 wolves and a 3rd wolf around the corner was not seen up to this point, all just flip and like jump and turn, bringing us into initiative for combat and the next session. So we will start episode 18 with the Dozens versus Wolves combat.
With me rolling a million
did so much
on my
work.
initiative.